Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilleys Landing Resort and Marina on Lake Taneycomo. Going to do one cast today. It's Saturday the 29th of August. I'm going to be using a 16th ounce sculpin jig with a brown head, 2-pound line. Got on my 6'6" medium light action Lilleys rod. I'm just up from the resort. It's about ready to rain, so it's probably going to be a short one cast. I've tried to do it several times today and I have just had a lot of trouble with the audio. Hoping it's working now, but all the while I've not caught a fish. They're running 3 units, or between 2 and 3, but it's a real fast. It's not high, but it's fast, and occasionally that happens when Piresight, when they run water, they can actually pull Lake Taneycomo down a little bit lower than it normally is. So when they start running water, the amount of water doesn't match the height or the level of the lake, and it runs through faster. And Bill Babler is always pointing this out when this happens. And when it does happen, it just makes fishing tough. I'm not sure why. That, and I just, even tying knots, I'm having trouble. But we've got a rain system coming in. It's supposed to rain all night, and it's building just right west of town. And within about 15-20 minutes, I think it's going to start raining. So when I checked the audio and it wasn't working again, I just said I'm going to drift from this log jam down to the resort, maybe, if I get there, and try to catch fish. I've not been able to connect. I've went up and fly fished for a little bit using an ant that Mr. Dixon sent me, and had a lot of trouble with leaves and sticks. We had a storm earlier, a lot of wind, and it blew a lot of stuff in the lake, and when the water started running, all that debris kind of hugged the bank up there, and it was impossible. Then I went up and threw a couple different colored jigs up below the dam, and I think I had a couple bites, but it was tough. And I got a bunch of moss on there. Nothing on first cast, except a whole bunch of something. I fished this morning up here with a zebra midge and caught some fish. That was kind of fun. They're midging a little bit, but I used a number 16 black midge. I started 2 feet under the float, and I ended up going 6 feet, and did pretty good. That was, of course, before the water started running. Had to follow all the way to the boat, even with moss on it. I'm not going to let it go down as far. There's quite a bit of pondweed and moss that's kind of built up on the bottom on this inside. You've about got to use a float if you're going to fish anything over here to keep it out of it. So I'm going to go a little faster. I didn't get any that time. We are supposed to get quite a bit of rain the next 3 or 4 days. They're forecasting 4 inches for around here. We had already had a 1/2 inch between last night and this morning. or yesterday and today. But south of us in Arkansas is supposed to get up to 7 inches of rain. I'm hoping that's not going to affect Table Rock or Beaver. They're just now getting both lakes. Well, Table Rock's below its power pool and Beaver is getting real close. I know there's fish out here because they were mentioned this morning here. I was hoping to catch 1 or 2, but I have struck out completely this afternoon. When I was fishing a scud this morning, I went up in the trophy area after fishing down here a little bit. I fished a scud on the bottom before they started running water. And I got a real tiny float, and those guys were coming up and just barely touching my scud, because my float just would barely vibrate. And I caught 2 and probably had 10 or 12 bites. That's how finicky they were this morning. They kind of did that on the midge too. Not quite as bad. Just not my afternoon. Very mixed bag of reports today. A lot of people had struggled, but there were a fair amount of people that did pretty good. Mainly night crawlers. That might have been a bite. Just about down to the dock. I can see through the trees that rain is really getting close. Usually when it rain's coming like that, fish are biting, but I haven't seen any midge, I haven't seen any activity. And I certainly hadn't felt anything on my jig. Got a couple more casts. Marcia and I are going to go to Kansas City tomorrow, see my daughter Sarah and Josh and the kids. So Dwayne and Blake are going to have to do 1 cast while I'm gone. I think that was the last cast. I am to the dock. Okay. Sorry about the short 1 cast, but I'm afraid it would have been about the same even if it went 20-30 minutes. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, I won't see you tomorrow. See you in a few days.